Good evening, everybody. My name is Steve, and welcome to the point 1 version of Imperia. Now, this is basically just an update video. A lot of stuff that you see is going to change. I just want to kind of show people what we're doing and kind of what we're working on, and obviously a lot of what you see is going to change over time. It's really just a chance to kind of see what we're doing. So without further ado, we're just going to go to the new screen. Now, this is basically a way to test out galaxy generation. This will obviously change a lot. You'll be able to have scenarios. You'll be able to set up empire levels, how many civilizations, their types. So there'll be a lot more options. But for now, we're going to go ahead and put 120 stars. We're going to go ahead and put 10 AIs, 6,500 size of the galaxy, which basically one unit is a light year. And then New Human Empire, we're going to call it something different. We're going to call it Evil Human Empire. Not too exciting, I know, but what are you going to do? Okay, so the first, for those of you that have played the first Imperia, you remember sometimes it'll take a while to generate. So this will be your Emperor generation screen, by the way. So notice I'm clicking 1, 2, 3, 4, a little over 4 seconds generation time, which is pretty exciting. That was a big thing in moving to Unity and the new development language is at the speed. So here we have the screen. Now there's going to be a little bit of jumpiness. I promise you that the other version runs better, but right now it's I'm recording, so I can't really help that, but normally it is very smooth. So you can see it's a lot bigger. We have set the sizes up quite a bit, and you can see there's quite a few planets and systems, 120. This area in the circle is your habitable area. It's not necessarily your empire size. It just kind of sets how far your empire can expand. So you can see that our empire has 7 different systems. Now if you zoom in a little bit, you can see that the province information fades in, and you'll see the lines between them. You'll also see more information about systems, so that's kind of a layer. The idea is, instead of having a lot of data on the screen at any one time, you only have what you need when you need it. So when you fade way out, you don't need that information because you're in galaxy view. As you fade into province view, which you can see over here, now you start to get that information. So let's take a look at Chronos. So we zoom in, and as you can see, we've done quite a bit with the system screen. We have our different categories. We have tinged is our planet. And we've added traits. Now some of you may not have seen this. So these are some of our traits. There are over 240 different traits that modify the basic values of a planet. Some of them also have to do with events, which we'll go into in a moment, and some of them have to do with individual regions, which we'll also go into in a moment. So you see this has 5 planets, or 4 planets in the system, and Chronos 1 has high gravity. So the high density of the planet leads to a higher than usual gravity on the surface. This can be stressful to living creatures originated from Earth. So this gives a biological mod of -15 and a production mod of -10. So that will affect pretty much everything. Now it's not a habited planet, but tinged is. You can see it's the Evil Human Empire. Also you see more information up here, and you see the system intel level. And I'll show you in a minute how that makes a big difference because I have essentially a God mode program where you can kind of see what's going on in the universe. So we'll go ahead and look at the planet. You can see it's kind of zoomed in. Don't worry about the ring. That was kind of a UI thing we're not going to be doing. So we have a region display. Now we talked a lot about regions. This is new to what a lot of people have seen. So there's a lot of granularity on the surface. It's a very, very detailed model of what's going on in each planet. Each planet essentially has, you could almost call them countries, but they're not necessarily countries in the sense that they're all different types. They're all unified to the Emperor, more or less, but they do represent different regions of a planet. So let's take a look at one here. Okay, so we have region detail. And by the way, these tooltips may not be in here at all in the final version. This is kind of for testing right now, so they look a little rough. But you can kind of see where you have a region detail on the left and a census on the right. So you have your populations. So for instance, this planet can be up to 25 different slots for development. And of that, 12 slots are being used right now. As you can see in the lower left, the development level, so there's 4 farms, 2 manufacturing centers, 1 mining center. There's no high-tech centers, and there's 5 admin centers, which makes sense because this is a system capital. Also, there are no labs. And you can see the production based on the POPs that are there. 504 kilotons of food, no terajoules of energy, 17 megatons of basic materials, 29 megatons of heavy materials, 0 megatons of rare materials, and no data. So you see each region has its own value. You can kind of see bio, we call these base materials, heavy materials, rare materials, and energy. And that's kind of when you take all these materials together and you take the development levels that are in each region and you look at the population that are in each region, that actually gives you your production, which is very exciting because now you have a very granular level of detail. If you look over at the right hand side, and unfortunately I can't use my mouse or the tooltip will go away. If you look at the lower left on the right hand region census, you can see proficiency ratings. So as populations grow, as they get older, as they get more experience, they gain proficiency depending on what they do. So for example, if you right now the average population, the worker population in this region has an average proficiency of 42 farming, 40 manufacturing, 25 mining, 37 high tech, and 41 research. So over time, if I don't ever build any labs, that proficiency will decrease because they're not actually doing anything. Whereas if I build a bunch of farms and I have my pops work at farms, that proficiency will increase because that's what they know. So in a way, it's kind of like you're training your populations to do what you're most skilled at, and you're sort of planning long-term your economy. Now you'll also be able to build schools and trade centers to kind of teach the kids what to learn, what's most important. But over time, essentially, if they're not doing something, they're going to forget how to do it. Now, if they emigrate to another planet, another system, or even another civilization, they're going to take those skills with them. So, you know, there will be in the game, you will want to attract, say if you're trying to build up a very scientific empire, you're going to want to attract people that have high science proficiency ratings. And you can get them from other empires, you can get them from your own, you'll be able to create schools to do that. If you build more labs, you know, eventually that will raise it. But of course, if you don't have anybody that can do science very well, you can build all the labs you want, but you're not going to get much out of it. So that's pretty much that. You can kind of see there are different types. There's jungle, ocean, volcanic, frozen, mountains. Now this is a super Earth planet, so there's a tremendous level of flora and fauna out there. You can also see on the right hand side that these are large cities, and each region has its own infrastructure. So you have islands on an ocean, small towns here in this forest, small settlements and mountains. Let's go to a big one. Moderately urban here. So large cities. You can kind of see different planet. Now province capitals, your imperial capital, those may have mega metropolises and very large areas. And these are towns and places of urban where there's the most ability for growth and where people can live most comfortably. All right, so we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to go back out, and we're going to kind of look. I told you a little bit about the Intel system. So you see these little numbers here. So every system has an Intel level from 0 to 10. 10 means you know everything about it. Intel level of 6 or higher means that you can basically see what's in the system, but you don't know much about it. Intel level below 3 means you can't even see what's in the system. So as an example, we'll click on Hanfei. As you can see, you see that there are planets. You know what they are, but there's insufficient intel for detailed planet information. So if I try to click on this planet, we know that it's a class 4 desert planet, but we don't know anything else about it because we don't have any intel on it. So, and for that matter, if we go to, say, Eternal Spring, we don't have anything. This basically represents, we know that there's a star, we have a certain astronomical level, but beyond that, we've never seen the star, we've never gone to scout the star, so we don't know anything about it. So there could be all kinds of stuff out there. And remember, the whole universe takes place where a lot of this information has been lost over the ages. This is 1,000 years since Earth, 3050. So there's kind of a pretty long backstory, and you can kind of find that on the forum. So, so if we go to Siren, see this is a 9. Well, there's no stellar object, so there's that too. But what happens? What's out there? Well, let's go into debug mode, and you can see, oh, there's a lot of systems out there. We have created all these different civilizations. So let's look. Let's go down here. Let's see what this is. So this is a satrapy, Avalon Empire. As you can see, it has a home system. So now we know it's Avalon. So here's Chithonia. This is their civilization capital. We can look at the region display because, again, we are in God mode, so to speak. Obviously, without the intel, we wouldn't be able to see this. So, going out, because, again, we can see, now this is a pretty barren planet, so there's not a lot here. So we're going to go ahead and go out. Now we're going to look at we have a renegade faction over here. We have another satrapy. Here's a single planet. These are pirates. SS Expanse. This is their one capital. Yes, there are pirates in the game, so quite another difference from the first Imperia. More pirates, and a lot of pirates here. Okay, this is a major empire, so now they actually have provinces. So here's Vitality Province. Only major civilizations, and civilizations in different sizes, anywhere from single planet, single system, minor, and major. Of course, your empire is a major system. So these have provinces as well. So let's take a look. This is Quill Mission, Sovereignty. This is Upsurge, great name. And you can see it's their civilization capital. It's also their province capital. So, but you can see they also have a two systems here, and right next to them is a Corinthian nation single planet system. So all that's already in the game. Right now they don't do a whole lot. I'll go ahead and turn that off. So now, as you can see, so if I come up here, remember we all knew all about it. Now if I go to Tiamat, there's nothing. We don't actually know anything. So that's pretty much what's in the game so far. In the version 2.2, we're going to be adding characters. We're going to be adding events. We're going to be adding to the planetary UI, and we're going to start the edict system. So you'll finally be able to interact with characters and create edicts. You'll also be able to generate your emperor. So there will actually be something that you can do in the game beyond simply watch things happen. So I'm going to go ahead and get out. Thank you guys for watching. Stay to updates. You can go to www.imperia5x.com for updates. We'd love to see you there. We'd love for you to join. Have a great day.